What's up guys, it's Daz here, but you don't really care, as it's time for more speculation. I know, who would have guessed? So lately-ish, there's been a bit of confusion over details of Pikmin 3. Not the fact that we have near to no information at all on the game, but more about this quote by Miyamoto. With Pikmin 3, you have the ability to have 3 different captains or leaders of Pikmin groups, and you can switch between them. So it allows you to approach the game from a much more strategic position. The volume of work that can get done within the time frame is dramatically increased, and so that in and of itself really enhanced the depth of strategy that's available to you in that game. So, this quote reveals 2 things to us. The volume of work that can get done within the time frame is dramatically increased. This is Miyamoto's way of confirming the time frame, which is the time limit, which we know already, but hey, confirmation. But then, here's where the confusion begins. Miyamoto states, you have the ability to have 3 different captains or leaders of Pikmin groups and can switch between them. 3? 3?! Did Miyamoto just confirm that character D has been scrapped? And we no longer have 4 captains to play as and enjoy? I don't know what to say.
We have all gathered here today in our dress pants to mourn the loss of the beloved character D.
Character D. You and your suit of sorts have charmed us all. You sure it's not pink?
No, that's purple.
You have given us hopes of a possible Louis ripoff. You have given us hopes that you could count as being someone else with a natural talent for washing dishes contrived of this mysterious planet's creatures. You've given us hope that maybe someday be revealed to have eyes under your green hair. You've given us hope that you, and only you, could have been much more than just artwork displayed at Nintendo's E3 2012 press conference. You've given us hope that there may be a chance that you will have a long pointy moustache. You've given us hope that you would have at least had 1 game. You have shown us that just because you're tall, skinny as a twig, and walk around like you still have a coat hanger in your shirt, does not mean that you can't jump the way you want to, hit a tennis ball the way you want to, or fail at golf the way you want to. Wait a minute, I'm talking about Waluigi, aren't I? You get what I mean. We all would have loved to play as you, Character D. And we can say it's been an honour to be in your presence, even though your presence was as flat as a character artwork. And I think it's fair to say, we all wanted the D. And with that said, goodbye, Character D. Goodbye, and rest in peace. But there is another possibility. You see, Miyamoto didn't directly say that Character D doesn't appear in the game. It was just a trick, worded so that we were misled into thinking he was gone. I think this new quote will make it more clear what Miyamoto's true intentions were. Let's look at the 3 captains part again. You have the ability to have 3 different captains or leaders of Pikmin groups, and you can switch between them. Maybe this quote isn't trying to say there will only be 3 captains in the game. Maybe all it's saying is there will only be 3 captains to play as at one time. Hold on a second, I just need to look at something. Aha! At no point do we ever see the 4 characters at once. So maybe you can control 3 at once. I mean, come on, this is Pikmin 3. The most we saw was this picture here and this little clip here. It only shows 3 people. And it looks like that obstacle is designed for 3 people, not 4. So does that mean that there's only going to be 3 captains at once, but there's still 4 people to play as? I mean, let's go back to E3. When we first got our look at the 4 new captains in the concept art, one of the Nintendo guys said something to the effect of, "These are the 4 new characters you'll be able to play as." Maybe what they meant hasn't changed in fact at all. Maybe you can still play as all 4 of these characters, including Character D. But you'll only be able to play as 3 of these characters at a time. Now let's look back at that quote from around a few months ago. Having that map, dash dash, and the fact that you have the 3 different captains that you can switch between to command your Pikmin. Yes, you can switch between 3 different captains, but there are 4 playable characters according to E3. So it must mean that character D was not scrapped after all, and that you do indeed play as him, but you can only play as 3 on one day. To put this into perspective, Pikmin 2 had 3 playable captains. You had Olimar, Louie, and the President, but you only controlled 2 at a time. Unfortunately, you couldn't control Louie again after unlocking the President. Hopefully that'll change in Pikmin 3. Understood? If so, good. If not, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. So, what does all this mean? If we have 4 playable captains, but only control 3 at once, what effect would this have? Well, going back to character D, he could be an optional captain and or unlockable at some point in the plot, like the President. This could explain why he was the first in the concept art, because he was not a necessity to the storyline. So how would he fit in, you ask? Well, it could be that he is stranded on the planet and lost in the middle of the wilderness, possibly injured or even in a bad state of health. Hell, let's just make him unconscious, just cause. You would need to use the Pikmin to carry his body back to the as of yet unnamed ship, where the characters will nurse him back to health overnight, because of futuristic technology of some kind. Maybe he could have a story similar to Louie's, in the way that he was stranded because his partner, group, whatever, left him behind on their way home. Then you could play as him for a few days, until an emergency beacon signals his partner team thing and take him back home, except he lost it and you have to find it for him. After collecting the beacon, it would attach to the ship or something, I don't know how this futuristic beacons work, okay? And create a signal allowing his partner / team or whatever to find him and bring him home. Or we could one-up that idea further by giving character D a backstory reminiscent of Olimar's, in the aspect that he was piloting his spaceship when suddenly a meteor struck it and he crashed onto the Pikmin planet. Except he wasn't as lucky as Olimar. He had a tear in his spacesuit and only had a matter of days before he would die. Hey, he could borrow Olimar's suit and become Reggie! Maybe to find the optional character D, you'll have to get to a certain area before day blah. And if you don't, he'll perish and be devoured or taken away or rescued by someone or something. Yes, it sounds a little bit morbid for Nintendo, but hey, it's a Pikmin game. That water wraith, bro, it's the stuff of nightmares. So anyway, maybe character D could be the main plot device of the game. Like, you'll have to collect the pieces of his ship, like in Pikmin 1. If character D is replacing anyone in the game, I don't know who he would. Character A seems like too main a character, since he does look like Olimar. Character B is smart and a girl, whilst character C seems to have some sort of authority with that badge. But character A doesn't seem to have anything special. I don't know. Who does he replace? Does he replace anyone? I don't get it. But maybe that's why they are placed next to each other in the concept art. Maybe he just replaces character A instead, because he doesn't seem to be that special. Maybe character D doesn't properly replace someone. Maybe you were just given the option of all 4 characters and you choose 3 before you start the day. Why only 3? Maybe someone has to repair the ship, or another is injured, or the ship is faulty so someone must supervise it so it doesn't fly off or swear uncontrollably or some, I don't know. This faulty ship could also explain how they are separated at the beginning of the game. Also, if you only get the choice of 3 captains on one day, you may unlock more playable characters as you play. Maybe Louie, Olimar, and the President make a return, but obviously you can't play as all 7, you just get to choose which 3, and I don't know, maybe they even have the best trait combination things of some sort. If each character has some sort of trait, like character C having massive arms and throwing 2 Pikmin at once, and then you combine that with the powers of Louie and Bugs, you can, don't know, not creative enough for this video. So then, what do you guys think? What's going on with character D? How will he fit into the game? What do you think Miyamoto really meant by his quote? Who knows? My name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.